Happy Thursday, guys, and what a happy Thursday it is. Maintenance did just end, and they came out with an actual balance patch for My Hero Ultra Rumble. So I thought it'd be a fun video to go through each and every character that got buffed and nerfed and just show you guys what changed. And if you like the video, guys, please like the video and subscribe. As well as let's just give a round of applause to the game itself for coming out with a balance patch this early. I honestly thought we weren't going to see nerfs for a long time, like months, and they proved me wrong, so definitely good on them, good on them. First up, Deku was nerfed. His alpha quirk was reduced in damage all 9 levels. So at level 1 through 9, the damage was reduced. This is great news. At level 9, it only does like what, I believe 81 now. Before it used to do like 105. Now this does include his crouch. Alpha, if you didn't know, Deku crouches and uses his alpha quirk. It increases the range and damage. That damage was also reduced, but not by much. It still does some great damage. However, the normal alpha quirk damage where you could probably 3-shot someone is no longer there. So great. I love this change. It was definitely needed. Next up is Bakugo himself, the man, the myth, the legend. He also got his damage reduced on his alpha quirk through all levels. It no longer does insane damage. It does, I believe, 85, so just a little bit more than Deku. Obviously, you can still shoot through walls, so you gotta watch out for that. But if you do get shot through a wall, the damage is reduced as well, just because it has to go through that wall. But not much else to say about that. His AP shot got nerfed. Great. I feel happy about that. Next up is Todoroki. He got hit with the damage reduction to his alpha quirk as well. At level 9, it only does 73 damage. You still get that extra little burn that ticks down after you land a alpha quirk. However, that is very slow and doesn't do too much damage. But his range is still the same, so you can still snipe people from pretty far away. You'll just be doing less damage. Next up is Ida, and what they did is increase the reload speed on his beta move, the giant sweep kick. It is very fast now. I mean, this is at level 9 as well, but I just wanted to show you how much faster it is. This is great because a lot of times I did feel like I had to wait incredibly long for the kick to come down. Now at level 0, if we use it, not level 0, but if we get it down to 0 all the way, it does take a quite long time to come back. That's the usual for most, but if we just use one and maybe space our time and kind of waste time and do stuff, the kick will be back up and we'll have one more extra. So this is a great buff. I did feel like it was a little, the reload speed was a little low on Ida, so I'm very happy with this. Next up is Tsuyu. So apparently at level 1, 2, and 3 for her camouflage ability, her Y quirk, it was just reduced the effect duration, so it's going to go away a lot faster now. I guess they maybe thought Sue going invisible for so long early game just was annoying to most players. It was just hard to find her. And so they just reduced the effect duration. But from levels 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I guess the same duration applies from the previous patch. They didn't touch those. Like I said, I think just early game Sue going invisible for so long was just something they needed to look at. So Sue got nerfed there, but everything else is still the same. Next up is Kirishima, and I absolutely love this buff. My man needed it. So first off, his special action, Hardening, they increased the duration of it, so his defense will be up for longer and his reduced damage reduction, as well as him just not flinching from certain attacks, like Oshako's spin move, right? He'll be able just to eat those up. Now, the other thing they did is increase the reload speed of this move. However, it's still very slow. If you didn't know, you can also cancel it before it hits 0 if you want the reload speed to come up a little faster. I think you should definitely do that because this will come back way faster than it would if you just let it hit 0. So I'll let this kind of go up. We don't need to see it all, but you can pay attention to it as I talk about the next buff, which is they added a punch to his to his beta move. So we now have 3 punches instead of 2. This is great for just movement and damage in general, so we can go up into the sky 3 times. It's still pretty slow. It's not too crazy like All Might. But we just have more options as Kirishima, so it's great. I love it. His hardening is already back. We did cancel it before it hit 0. I'll let it hit 0 here. We hit 0, and now you can see how awfully slow it is moving up. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch this, but it's really slow. So cancel that before it hits 0. Next up is our boy Shiggy, and they increased the amount of bullets on his Y ability, which is his grab. So now he has 2 grabs, but that's not even the best part. It just means he has way better mobility. So he can go a lot further at level 9, and he can actually get away from people. I thought Shiggy kind of struggled with movement already. He can't get up high anywhere really fast. But with this can go really, really far, and now you get 2 of them. So you can actually run away from players, which is great. When I first saw the buff, I was like, oh my lord, because it said increase the number of bullets on his Y. And I thought his Y was the pool, bro. And I was going to get a little scared that he has 2 of these, and that would have been crazy. But I'm very happy with this. He did need something like this. It's great. So, yeah, W Shiggy. Dabi is next, and my lord, did he need something. They buffed his damage on his alpha ability, his arson, so now these will do a little bit more damage. They actually feel like they travel a little faster, but I don't know because I didn't play too much Dabi, but for some reason they feel a lot faster. The tracking is definitely still the same. In the beta, the tracking was outrageous, so I'm glad they didn't change the tracking, kept it the same. But these feel a little bit faster. I think that's just wrong. I mean, they really do. Like, I feel like once they like track onto someone, they zoom, and I don't know if that was the same in the previous patch. I could just be tripping. But they buffed the damage on all levels to that, as well as they increased Dabi's max HP to 350. Now, it says 300 on your screen right now, and I think this just means if I decide to have a assault characters as teammates, so if I have Deku or All Might on my team, I can get my HP up to 350, which is actually really good for Dabi because he can't really escape anyone, so he needs to be able to brawl a lot and have a lot of HP to survive. So I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it just says 300 here. And also Dabi mains, correct me if I'm wrong, that this just feels like it goes a lot faster. So I don't know. But good buff to Dabi, I'm happy with it. Next up is Compress, and he got buffed in the Alpha and Beta quirk. Basically what they did is increase the amount of projectiles Compress has. So at level 3 and level 1, basically you start with 7 projectiles, which is great. That's a little bit more that you can work with. And when you go to level 4, which is the next level to upgrade your quirk, right, you get 8. So you get 8 projectiles, and the next time you can upgrade this quirk is actually 9, and at 9 you get 9 projectiles, which is great. For his Reflect, you start at 140 HP. Basically, this means this Reflect can only take up that much damage. So as you upgrade it, it can take more. We'll just go up by 1 to show you that it went up by 20. It's going to go to 160 here, which is very good as well. Now, if we go all the way up to 9, I'll just show you guys the max amount of damage it can take, and it got a lot bigger. All right, the max damage it can take is 250, which is really good, and this gets really, really big, so this is really great for Compress, and technically at 250, that's almost one-shotting someone if they decide to just constantly hit your Reflect, right? So this is very good, and if you didn't know, the Reflect also just regenerates even if you are holding it up like this and no one's hitting you, so that's really good. It's a very nice move. So this is a great buff for Compress. I would have loved to see a speed boost for this move. This comes out a little too slow, and it's too easy to get hit out of, so I'm a little disappointed in that, but good overall, good buffs for Compress. Now, our last and final change for today's patch video is Mountain Lady. They increased her bullet on her Y ability. When they say bullet, they just mean the amount of quirks you can use in that respective category. So for her Y ability, which is her kick, she can now use it twice, which is so good. I am so happy they buffed that. I think that's an amazing buff. It is, I'm just so happy with it, especially when you get really big, you get 2 of these, which is insane. So now you have 2 of these huge high damage kicks that can hit multiple people, right? It's crazy good. I personally love it for just the mobility in general. This game has a lot of characters that have just crazy mobility, and I'm glad Mountain Lady can keep up with them. So being able to get onto roofs, hop over stuff, or even catch people, just chasing them down, it's just going to be a lot easier. So very happy with this buff, and I don't know, I probably will play her now and actually max E instead of Q, because I think her kick is actually very good now that there's 2. Alright guys, that is it for today's patch video. If you would like to see this again when they do future updates, please let me know, like the video, and subscribe. As well as if you don't want me yapping so much in these videos, I like to give my personal opinion about how I feel about the changes. But if you don't want that and you'd rather just have the strict like number beta, like number changes, right? I'm completely fine with that. Just let me know and I will get rid of me yapping so much. But other than that, guys, have a great Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Almost made it to the end of the week. I'll see you guys all later. Have a great one. Bye.